So let's get some music going.
Hello, this is Doug.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna give you a YouTube stream link so that we'll see if we'll see what it's stream like. Link. So okay, yeah, the latency is
Cool.
pretty low actually. This is
Are
just so you
you?
don't have to deal with the
Wait, what
terrible
just?
Discord quality.
Let me open this bad boy up.
What are you doing in WoW?
I'm running, and I don't know if you ever played Wrath of the Lich King, but I'm running that really short raid in Wintergrasp that has like a couple boss in it, and that's it.
I think I think Wrath. I played like a little bit of Wrath,
Oh.
and then I can't remember what the. I think I was winding down one of my like binges of WoW with Wrath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, so it's a brainless because it's just easy because there's nothing to focus on.
Yeah, I'm familiar with World of Warcraft. sometimes it's brainless, sometimes it's not. Okay, util session. Yeah, so it has no exported member server. Yeah, create user session. Okay, I see. Yeah. So at this point, I'm sort of abstract, or like I'm just
By the way, the
letting.
stream quality is incredible.
Yeah, well, it's 10,000 kilobits. It's 10 meg up. Like, let me look at my network limiter. Let's see what OBS's network usage looks like. But yeah, I mean, it's running on my secondary GPU. It's not that much. It's 450 kilobits per second upload. No, wait. What's going on? Where is okay, yeah. Oh, hold on. OBS. Wait, which one of you is actually responsible for uploading content? OBS.
OBS would be, yeah.
Well, I would think so, but this is not a possible upload total. Okay, traffic
And I'm sure
stats.
that's speeds.
Uh, so this custom time, yeah, I want like t- like today. I want like a live view. Uh, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, point is, my stream settings are like do as good of a job as you possibly can and use my entire secondary GPU to do it
Mhm.
and use my entire upload. And my upload pipe is like ridiculous. I have like a gigabit up or something,
Cool.
which
Yeah, I
just
remember you doing the
blows
speed
me.
test. It was like fucking nutty, nutty
Yeah,
speeds.
I want to have 10 gig, but there's just no excuse for it. I have to start streaming and stuff. I have to do more streaming with less powerful equipment. Really, I don't know what the limits are on YouTube for upload, but like YouTube is just so thirsty for data. Like Twitch maxes you at like 6500 kilobits per second, and
Oh,
I don't think there's a cap. I think YouTube will let you upload at your internet speed per second.
that's wild. I think it's because Twitch, you need to partner in order to get unlock greater upload bandwidths. We're not partnered, but like affiliated.
Yeah, so I think Twitch affiliates even have like let's see, Twitch partner stream quality, no bandwidth. So I might actually be yeah, so 8,000. It's only 8 thousand this is kilobits per second. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's surprisingly bandwidth limited. I think it's just because Twitch doesn't own their own infrastructure and Google does, and also Google just is a
Uh,
bigger company. Like Google can just, or
well,
YouTube can.
Twitch is owned by Amazon now. That has
Oh,
been for
I
yeah,
forgot about that. Yeah, that's funny because people talk about like, how can Amazon Prime keep funding Twitch like this? How can it's like, well,
yeah.
A, because
But I wonder if they
corporations
did.
can just do that,
Yeah,
and B, but more importantly at this point, it's not, money is not going anywhere. It's
Mm, yeah.
you are not getting a
Yeah,
free connection through, or Amazon is not paying for your Twitch subscription. You are getting a free subscription because you have an Amazon account.
yeah.
Let's see. So where am I at? Okay, so I looked at their. Oh, so this is actually. I could use your expertise here. So the managing this user state, that's all fine. The thing that something I haven't done before is manage user sessions. And something you'll notice, or something I've noticed in the documentation, is that there's a whole bunch of different kinds of sessions. But really,
Yeah.
I'm interested in like what is like a top level description of what a session actually even is.
Um, Wait, top level meaning like English?
Yeah, like how would you describe a session, or like why would you have like what can you do with a session that you can't do without a session, for example?
Well, you can it sessions are usually tied to user identity, and with user identity, you can grant things like permissions to things. Um, and maintaining a session is essentially just as easy as maintaining like a encoded string and being like this session, which lasts anywhere from 1 minute to 12 hours to indefinite. Um, Depending on what your business logic is, you just say, I don't know. Yeah, you just attach it to a user ID. It's just like just a unique identifier or something.
So as far as I can tell, the magic cookie is what is what's getting tied to a user ID. So the server has a user ID, and the
Hmm.
client has a and the
A
client has
cookie.
cookies, and then the server and the
Yeah.
client, when a session is created, the server and the client
Hmm.
interact and
Communicate.
must perform some sort of private public key
Handshake.
exchange that
Yeah.
makes the cookie secure and makes the or yeah that makes the session secure on both sides, and then the client will have some secret stored in their cookies, and the server will have some secret stored on the server. And then while that cookie header is or sorry in the background, I think all of the every time a new piece of data so a session is created, and then every time you talk to the server uh, in relation to any sort of privileged information, you will provide your header information. Your header information will
Yeah.
contain your cookie that contains your half of the
String.
session data, and then the
Yeah.
server will verify or validate that session data is valid every single time there is a interchange of information.
Yes, you can do it every single time. For like yeah, secure operations, but you can also streamline it for less secure operations and just send over a string and make sure it matches or whatever, and the headers don't have to be there or whatnot.
Is that what this max age thing is? So like this cookie is valid for n sessions,
Hmm.
or sorry,
Yeah,
this
pretty
session
much.
is
It would it
valid for n time.
Yeah, so that end time, I'm assuming that's 60 minutes.
It's actually
What
60
it'll do?
seconds here. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
okay.
And this is not default behavior. The default, like
Yeah, okay.
the like whatever it's called, the tutorial gives you a 60 times
Yeah.
60 times 24 times 30, so a month.
Yeah. Basically, it's arbitrary what the number is because it depends on how quickly a user would be able to perform destructive um, operations, and that's usually what informs how long the session is for. So if a user is able to log in and immediately, let's say it's an inventory management system, like immediately delete all inventory,
Yeah.
that's usually warrants like a teeny tiny um, type like max age. Um, and usually for like consumer type stuff, it's like the worst you can do is input new credit card data. So it's like it's not that destructive because you can just there's nothing that you can take away or whatever. You know what I mean? And then anyway, so what that when okay, let's say 60 seconds from now, this max age expires, you have to run through the same handshake again. So you submit the credentials with the right headers. And then for 60 seconds, you can browse pretty much unhindered or unencumbered just by submitting a cookie with a header. As soon as it expires, though,
Yeah.
61st second, then it's like, oh, the server can recognize this was a valid cookie. This was a valid session. Let me send you like a refresh token and do perform the refresh process. And yeah, that's the reason why you'd want to make it longer is the refresh process. You really wanted to could be indefinite or like you could push it off indefinitely, or you
Yes.
could do 60 seconds, or you could do 12 hours is pretty reasonable for like business applications because it let's say covers a normal work day, 12 hours.
Yeah, so this is so this when this max age or when this cookie expires, I'll just use
Hmm.
the correct
Yeah.
terminology. So
Yeah.
when the cookie expires is when the user experience of your session has expired, please log in again. You get kicked out to the login
Yeah.
portal or to the root page, and you are logged
Yeah.
out, and you have to log in
Hmm.
again, whatever that means, whether that's a
Yes.
magic
You could
word
even
or
do something pretty smart. You can even build an experience where the credentials are stored browser side in secure cookies. And then when, let's say you would normally hit a route um, that would refresh it, then you would bring those cookies not bring them out, but like resubmit those um, and let's say save the user the trouble of going through like, okay, you've been logged out type of situation. It would just instead of going through a rigmarole of relogging in again, they would just see like a longer page load or maybe like a page redirect and then a page load.
so is this
That's
as
it.
so is this as simple as like within the like on the client cookie during login, in addition to saving the secret, which I think is the data that the website actually uses. Whatever. In addition to storing the session, see, I think it's the session secret. I think this is actually important. Which field, which field in the cookie is the one that the server uses to validate that the cookie is still secure, or is like that you are who you say you are, basically.
Which field in the cookie?
Yeah, or am I thinking about it totally wrong?
Yeah, I guess sometimes it is a string. Like I said, it depends. You have full reign over what you store on the cookie and what you accept in the browser server. You could call it like foo, right?
Yeah.
Field foo, and then
Okay.
the cookie stores it in the field foo.
What would you
Or you
call?
could just keep credentials.
I'm looking for. Yeah, so that's well that's sort of what I was thinking, right? So like so there's some so what I'm imagining is happening is that
Hmm.
the server so So you submit a login form, let's say, and your login form has a string, which is your account,
Yeah.
or sorry, your username and
Username.
MD5 or SHA, like
Hmm.
your password, and then the
Yeah.
server on its end validates that the database contains a username and MD5 that match that,
Hmm.
and then and then performs a handshake with your browser, the result of which is some string, some like some
Yeah.
cryptographic string, and that cryptographic
Yeah.
string is stored in the user cookie. And then every
Yeah.
time a secure operation is performed, so like every time, let's just say every time the
Yeah.
user navigates to a URL within the site, from then on, the
Hmm.
cookie is sent along with the request in the headers, and that cookie
Yeah.
contains that secret that you've negotiated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
So.
the smart relogin paradigm that you're talking about, in that smart relogin paradigm, when I log in, I could say
Hmm.
we do the negotiation, and then also in your cookie store site name
Hmm.
underscore username and site name
Yeah.
underscore password MD5, and then when
Hmm.
the secret, or sorry, when the cookie, or sorry, when the session expires, the renegotiation automatically happens, and you get your refresh
Hmm.
token again. Oh, they're called fucking tokens. That's it. Yeah, because
Tokens.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, is this is this a JWT, a JavaScript Web Token? Like, is this where this kind of thing
Yeah.
comes in?
So JWT is like an evolution on top of. It's actually kind of like I guess. Yeah, JWT are a session management tool. They usually take the place of session tokens.
Okay,
Um,
so I'll just pretend that we'll just we'll just pretend I didn't ask that because I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that much yet.
yeah,
Because
it's just like it's called like an alternate way of doing it, and it's more complex, and for some reason people hate it. It's I've just read so many contrasting articles. I don't know what to think anymore, and considering I've never really implemented one from scratch, I don't have professional opinions on it either.
so my professional experience with JavaScript Web Tokens is that they are a side effect of using secondary authorization
Microservices.
like OAuth
Uh,
or Auth0.
okay.
So, and that may not be true. That may not be something that's always true, but my experience was that JavaScript Web Tokens were being issued by third-party certification authorities, basically by, in my case, Auth0, and
Hmm.
Auth0 was managing, and I think JWTs were like somehow being exchanged and utilized for security between like Google and Apple and all those other like
Mm.
secondary sign-in options.
Oh, okay. I don't know how much like collaboration there is between the major sign-on providers. I think it's just essential centralized technologies, it's like JWT.org or whatever, just controls the schema, and then you can literally encode information into it. It's like it's public. Like the contents of tokens are public. JWT tokens.
I'm listening. I'm attempting to process and also deciding whether or not it's worth it for me to process. I think I should.
Um,
I think I'm not going to process this right now, and I'm going to go back to. I think. Okay, is it okay for I? Do you think it's okay for me to treat this as though it's magic for now? Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
great. All right, so I've got this server or session server TypeScript in my database utilities, or I've got this whatever
Hmm.
this uh, module, I suppose would be the right word for this. So this is module. We're exporting create user session and create user session is available. Let's see. Where is create cookie storage being used? Shift F. What the? Shift F12? Storage is equal to create. Where? Show me instances of this usage. Where are we using this? Why did we define this function if we're not going to use it? Oh, this isn't even a function. Wait, what? What even is this? This is just a fucking
A class, maybe? Yeah.
No. It's
No,
this
these are
is an
functions.
invocation of a function. That's why I'm not seeing
Yeah.
it. Storage is
Okay.
being used. There we go. Okay. Great. All right. So this is our session manager.
Can you show me the schema in your DB where like the session gets stored? I just want to see what kind of fields are being put on there.
Let's see. Schema.prisma.
It might be like a default schema, so there is probably not defined in
So I don't know
the
if we're
schema,
even.
but it'd be viewable in the database at least.
Okay, let me launch the studio. I just learned about this.
Yeah. So I think also the stream is gonna be about I think 20 seconds or 30 seconds behind. So if I'm delayed in understanding
Oh, okay.
or delayed in seeing it, then
Let me
it's taking a while.
let me see how far behind it actually is, because I think I set the config for it to be as low as possible. I realized that like the streaming delay is like a pay on payment basis, but
Okay.
let's see how low I can get it. Output stream. Here we go. Oh my god. My maximum video bitrate is 51 megabits per second.
That's insanely good. What the hell?
YouTube's maximum video bitrate for me is 51,000 kilobits per second.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I actually can't see, or I can't tell what the stream delay settings are from OBS here. Well, whatever. If they're real, if it's very delayed, then we'll switch to Discord.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I see a users table
Yeah,
on the screen.
that's what I'm currently looking at. Okay, so I'm going to switch
Are
to
there other tables?
ChatGPT now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me know when you see it switch. Tabs.
Yep.
2, 3,
I'll tell you
4,
when.
25.
Switched.
Okay, it's 26 seconds delayed. That's pretty
Yeah.
bad. But I'd rather live with this if possible. We'll see what it. Yeah, we'll see if it's too. Anyway, there's no session object that is getting stored in the database, and I can tell that there won't be because the tutorial doesn't mention anything about it.
Something being stored. So yeah, that's the thing about sessions is there has to be a server side representation. Otherwise, there is no session.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so let me get.
Is there a way you can see all the tables in your current database?
Yes, that is what you are seeing. Or that's what you were seeing. So there is a jokes. They're called models apparently in here, but there's a joke model and a user model, and that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's called model because of the ORM, because you're now modeling the object relational mapping. So all models, just joke and user. Okay.
Okay, so let me go back.
What is this using in the behind the scenes? Is it Supabase with like SQLite or something, or what was it?
So this is using Prisma, which uses
Oh,
SQLite.
Prisma, right? Yeah. Okay.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so I haven't. Yeah, so we're using a database that contains one user right now, and that
Seven
one
jokes.
user is Cody spelled with a K, and their password is Twix Rocks. Yeah, so that's what I'm working with right now. So if we look at, okay, so we're implementing validation. I just ended up copy pasting the validation because it's
Ooh,
just
can I see the
a
flow chart
nightmare.
actually?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's gonna take 30 seconds to show up. I might as well just open. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. The
Oh,
delay.
do you have a low latency option to toggle?
I had some, apparently some stream, I don't know what to call it, but I could scroll to a more recent.
Oh, you were
Yeah,
buffered a little bit behind.
yeah,
You
I
were
was.
just
Yes, yes, that's,
in the
yeah,
streams past. Your playhead was
yeah. So
missed.
raise your hand on camera. I just want to see how long it takes.
Okay, it's been raised and lowered.
Okay, it's down to like six or
Like
seven
10.
seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, login type. Wait.
Well, I'm just gonna
Uh,
have you navigate to it. You're right. Like if you need to
okay,
look at
yeah,
anything live, it's got to be
yeah. I'll do it.
actually live.
User registration. Where's the authentication? There it is. Okay, form the login type, register username available. Hash password create user, login type, user exists, yes, hash matches. Create session cookie with user ID. Okay, redirect the jokes with set cookie header. Okay, cool. I guess with like set cookie, you look for the set cookie header and then do some action on the client side. That's cool.
Yes. So where are we at? Let's see. Don't need this. Yeah, are you talking about the storage dot set cookie method? Oh, right. So no, the Jesus Christ. Let's see. Where are we at? We're not in index. We're in login. Okay. Get session requests. Yeah, get cookie. Yeah, request.headers.get cookie gets the cookie out of the out of the client, and then you have to
Uh-huh.
do something with that cookie. So we're doing get session, but get session is not an exported member, right? Like it's not
Oh,
a
wait a
member
minute.
function yet. So I've clearly
Yeah.
messed up something here. Uh, So our
Oh,
session.server.ts. So I've already got this part of it working. So we're going farther. Yeah, so this is where I learned how to open the Prisma Studio. So now we're writing a create user session, create a new session via get session function, sets the user ID field on that session, redirects the user or to the given route, setting the set cookie header via the cookie storage commit session. And then this is where I went into the session documentation and had some
mm,
issues. Okay,
okay.
so we're using, okay, so I'm gonna concentrate on the server side of this. Okay, so the
Okay.
server session is importing, creates cookie session storage and redirect, which is all well and good. And then our new changes are determining the session secret, which just gets the session secret from Node.js on the server side,
Mm,
storage, which invokes create cookie sessions storage, and then create user session, which I guess, let's see, is taking in a user ID and a redirect and returning. Well, TypeScript should tell me what it returns. It's returning a typed response never. I have no idea what that means. But it's just going to redirect to somewhere. Let's see. Storage.getSession. So I don't understand. Okay, here. Session.set user ID to user ID. And then where does the cookie become involved? So we're not ingesting any cookie information here. This is on the server side. I guess I'm trying to see where the cookie is used on the server side. Let's see what they're...
But yeah, that's actually where I was getting at. Like, I don't know. Yeah, how does the server know?
Yeah, I think it doesn't know yet.
Okay.
I think they haven't given us all of the code yet.
Yeah, so create user sessions being imported and used. So
Yeah, so I've like skipped ahead, I think.
okay.
So yeah, we're just... So if our request is valid, we're just returning create user session, user.id, redirect to. And I'm not sure where user... and user is the response from the login attempt. So if we look in our action and we look at case login, okay, so if the user is valid, my logic is inverted from theirs, but it's, you can understand it's sort of similar. So this is where we validate with the server that this person has a user account that exists, and if that user account exists, then we say that their login is successful, console log the user, and then we redirect. I don't understand what this redirect to, how this function works. Oh, okay. Redirect to
it's sort of like
URL get form redirect to jokes. Okay, so this is not a built-in function. Great.
Yeah, it's basically a lot of applications will have this because if you think about it, let's say you're viewing the jokes page and then, you come back a day later, your session's expired.
Yeah.
You log in again, you'll normally set the redirect to variable to the page that they were on or wherever the request was submitted from. And it's just like a nice quality of life improvement to just send them to this page that they were logged out of.
Okay. What have I done?
Load properties of undefined.
I have created a problem on line 1. Cannot read properties of undefined reading dev.
Well, look at the network. Look at the network tab and see why it's a bad request.
Okay.
Yeah, up there should be the double
arrow. I'm going back to the console and I'm going to have it tell me exactly what happened. Okay, so it's
hit the payload or the...
Wow, payload preview that's response. Fucking super wrong.
What is it?
I mean, that's just the wrong password. That's not the MD5, and that's not the...
Yeah, no, these are supposed to be the raw values.
Oh, well, that's neither of them. Okay, so that's... Yeah, so I don't know that I've handled... I don't think I've done any exception handling. So
Okay.
it seems reasonable to me that it would fail. Let's see.
Hmm.
Okay, Cody and then Twix rocks. Okay, great. So that just it works. That's good.
Okay.
Uh, you and I both are still confused as to how the cookie actually interacts with the server. like,
Yeah, it needs to be stored somewhere because I'm refused to believe that it's auto magic.
I mean, there's only so much magic, right? Like, there's the the black the black box has inputs and outputs, and what we're saying is that even if the outputs are inside, even if the IO is in black boxes, we know that the server. Okay, here's a possibility, Kazi. So
Yeah.
you have put forth the uh, you've put forth one reasonable paradigm, which is that session data is stored by the server in the database. I think that is a
Yeah.
reasonable thing to say, especially with
Yeah.
all of their like commit and like type of language.
Yeah.
However, it is totally possible that it just exists inside of the like the session data exists inside of the runtime scope of the program,
Yeah.
which is the server. It is totally possible that
I
session data
wonder. Yeah, I
dies
wonder if it's
when the
just.
server goes down.
Yeah, I wonder if the only thing it does is check that the password matches the password hash, and then creates a session
Yeah,
response.
so I wrote that.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote that code, so I know that that's
Yeah.
actually true. So
Okay.
export const login, and I actually wrote this. I actually guessed how to write this, which is great. The only thing
Nice.
I didn't know how to do is this shit.
Find first. Yeah.
How to define a
Finding
type.
the one record.
Oh, I
Yeah.
guess you can't. Oh my god.
Oh, look at that. A type. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah, well, so the way that I did it was I just had this stapled on here, right? Like I just had the type description, state whatever. I had the contents.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't.
Yeah,
I
which is
literally
what we
didn't know
were.
that this property, or sorry, that this syntax existed. that a type,
Mhm.
that there was a
Yeah.
type, which there
Yep.
isn't
Yep.
in JavaScript.
Which is
I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Which is also, this is where I'm gonna purposely confuse you. It's also interchangeable with the interface type.
Uh, Fantastic. Yeah,
Y-
I
Yes. So yeah, just like anything in JavaScript slash TypeScript, there's a bajillion ways to skin this particular cat. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure that for a JavaScript compatibility layer, there is. Wait, is interface a JavaScript thing? Is that why?
no, it's TypeScript.
Okay,
No, no,
so
they're both TypeScript.
yeah, and then in JavaScript, you would just delete the word type and just say const login form is equal, and then you would compare the contents of this login form. Actually, it wouldn't be quite the same, but
Yeah,
there's got to be
actually, in
some
JavaScript you wouldn't
compatibility.
even have. Yeah, in JavaScript you wouldn't have the possibility, even wouldn't even have the possibility of comparing types. It's just not a concept that exists in JavaScript.
Yeah, so this is getting compiled down into assertion logic somewhere. Actually, it isn't. No, it's not getting compiled into assertion logic. It just TypeScript. You know what? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
even gonna
just
try.
it's at the development time, so correct. There is no type assertion except for very specific cases where you're like actually legitimately typing type of
Right?
blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
unless you literally use JavaScript. You can do type assertion in JavaScript. There's you just assert. Assert is a JavaScript. Is a
Yeah.
JavaScript function.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, because TypeScript is supposed to be a developer tool. It's not really a. It's a set of developer tools, right? It's a linter, it's a type checker, it's a compiler, a transpiler rather. That's just all it is. It's just a bunch of really nice developer experience tools. And then JavaScript itself doesn't care about types because it doesn't exist yet, because they are thinking about something.
It makes sense that they would think about that. Okay, so this session, yeah, so the session object just gets magically created, for lack of a better
Oh yeah,
description.
let me can I wait, yeah, I just want to see where.
Oh, I can probably share my screen in addition to streaming. Let me do
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah.
so that when you need to see something, you can.
Okay.
Screen. Oh my god, this is. Oh my god, I've a fucking embarrassment of bandwidth and compute power.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
just so luxurious. I have shared the wrong screen. Screen.
Oh,
Stop. It was a great stream. It was asking me how my stream went.
yeah.
Okay. There you go. Wow. Oh, what a time to be alive. And in the United States with a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Wait. It's what is it showing me? Oh,
As far as I can tell, it is showing you the thing that I want it to be showing you.
I'm not seeing much.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just showing me your user icon.
uh, I guess I'll. Let's just reinitiate the call.
Hello.
Hello. We have reinitiated. Okay, I have gone live.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. It
Excellent.
shows here. Let me check that the stream is working too.
I can actually
Stream
tell that the
as well.
stream is working.
Okay.
OBS tells me when YouTube starts refusing my packets. I don't know how it tells me,
Oh.
but I've I'm pretty sure I've had it show me. I'll actually preface that. I'm pretty sure that OBS will tell me if YouTube is no longer working.
Yeah. I think it was actually the other way around where Discord was not sending over screen share packets.
Oh, well, yeah,
So
exactly.
now,
Yes, Discord was broken.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
so now we're here
So let's see.
with
I still want to
milliseconds
look
of
at,
latency.
yeah. I still want to look at, so create cookie session
Yeah,
storage.
let's
I'm
go.
assuming that the client side thing. Is that built in?
No. Well, okay. So this function is built in, and
Yeah, okay.
it is server side. It is Node.
Okay. Okay. So then the create user session, that one you wrote or is from the tutorial?
Yes, this create user session is from the tutorial, and you can tell that I wrote it because it's prefaced with function.
Okay. Const session equals await storage. What is this? What's storage?
So storage is this object that has
Oh,
been
oh, it's the
created.
return time for that. Okay, so commit session is from that built-in function. What does commit session do?
So let's see if we can find out. Okay, so let's see if I can
Stores all
go.
data in the session and returns.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just want to read that doc string.
And return set
Okay.
header to be used in the header-to-po response.
Oh, shit. The stream died. Hi.
Interesting. I wonder what's being limited. Okay, so my Ethernet is fine, and Discord is telling me that the stream is working.
Huh.
On my end, it very much looks like this is working. Um, let's try
Let me
reinitiating.
try. I'll read. Huh? Yeah. Wow. Okay. It's on my end apparently because just for me to rejoin the call worked.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where like it takes two to tango, right? Like Discord is supposed to
Yeah.
be negotiating our UDP session, and like they're
Mm,
dropping the ball somewhere.
okay.
At least I assume so.
So it doesn't tell me much about what it does, commit session, because it just stores all the data in the session.
And it returns a set cookie
But
header to be used in the HODAPO response. So
okay,
so the
so let's go
user
back to
the
its
user
usage.
is getting this set cookie header
Yeah,
to
yeah. The
so I
client
think what's
is, yeah.
happening is that the user's cookie is getting set by the browser via this HTTP response. That's
Yeah,
how
the
I
browser is
understand it.
made aware that this action needs to be performed.
Excellent. So commit session is a server side operation where some cookie data is being baked and then
Yeah, but
sent off to the
so
browser, and the browser is
yeah,
responsible
see,
for storing it on the user side.
yeah. So you said this is all in memory, which makes sense. So we don't actually know what the fucking yeah, so the session really isn't stored anywhere and it is ephemeral and it is on memory.
Yeah, so I think the session is stored in the server memory, and the client part of it is stored in the client cookie. And
So
I can
so
somehow.
what happens when a cookie expires? You said, can we set it just for testing purposes, like make it 1 second or something?
Yeah, absolutely. You better believe we can. Let's set this to. Let's set it to 10 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
So also just to help me understand, I think this is saying that when it expires, it goes to root. Uh, I'm not asking you to tell me if that's true or not. I'm
I have no
telling you
idea what these
my
fields are.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and does and I'm just gonna check. So HEDPA only uh, specifies when truthy blah blah blah. Careful in setting this to true, as compliant clients will not allow client-side JavaScript to see the cookie in document.cookie. I'm just going to follow a different tutorial when this becomes relevant.
Oh, the path attribute indicates a URL path that must exist in the requested URL in order to send the cookie header.
Okay.
The / command is considered a directory
root
operator.
root better exists inside of the path.
Yeah,
That seems pretty
yeah,
safe.
yeah.
Okay, sick. So let's go to. Okay, so one thing to check here that I don't know the answer to is, do I need to restart the server to get this to apply? And the answer is I don't know.
I don't think
Tools.
so. Well, you'll still have an old cookie with whatever the number of time you set before, so you might actually have to clear that cookie.
Yeah. Okay. So how would I do that?
If you go to your dev tab, like yeah, the console on your browser, and then you
Yeah.
look for no, in your browser,
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a
This one
cookie
here, there should
here.
be a storage tab
Yeah. Uh,
or security. Any of
fuck.
these
Where is it?
will do.
Security. It's not there. Sources. Oh God, I've done
No.
this before. Okay.
Just go through each one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be somewhere.
Okay. Elements not in there. Console
Not
definitely
console,
not in there.
not
Sources
sources. No.
maybe over here, but I don't.
No.
Network, probably
No.
not where the cookies live. It's in memory.
It's memory.
Uh,
No.
but how do I
That's the
locally
memory.
add it?
That's just the memory usage of the application.
Oh, it's
There
an
it is.
application. It's just the memory usage
Yeah.
of the application. Local
Yeah.
storage, session
Yeah.
storage, cookies. Here we go.
Uh,
Put it up, put local cookie set. Select a cookie to preview its value.
there's
I
none. Okay, let's
have
look at the
selected
session
this
storage.
cookie.
It might be in local storage.
Sorry, what do you want me to look at? Shared storage?
There's a couple things that you opened up, which was local storage and session storage. One of those might have it. Oh, no, that's the Honey
Oh, that's one of
extension.
my
And then
extensions. Yeah.
trust tokens.
Interest groups, IndexedDB, shared storage.
IndexedDB is actually really cool. It's a database technology that lives in memory in the browser tab. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so we've used this in order. So I used this in what's it called? In Electron to do super fast storage of preview images that are associated with video files in a feed so that you can like pretty quickly scroll through a feed with like hundreds of videos in it. And we had to use this
Cool.
index DB because the session storage object can only be like 100
5
kilobytes or
megabytes
something.
large. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, 5 megs. Yeah, it was interesting. The like on the tin, the storage limit is 5 megs, and like in reality, it's more like 50. But it just gets like really slow
Oh, okay.
when you get beyond that. And it's also not like officially supported on all browsers, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Application storage 0 bytes. Oh yeah, here this tells you our storage quota.
Yeah. Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
that's very big. That's
That must be a function of your
yeah. This is
actual
like this
computer
has something
storage.
to do with my fucking hard disk.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wild. I don't see it anywhere.
yeah, I don't see fuck all in terms of cookies. So I'm just gonna delete this cookie. Clear.
Well, is there? Yeah.
I'm not convinced that this user has a valid has a valid cookie.
Yeah. I think it actually makes sense. So we haven't implemented a server-side persistence, and it seems like you haven't implemented the client-side persistence. So all we do is send a request to log in. We check that the login is real and valid.
Yeah.
Then we send back the header, but we don't do anything with the header. So it's a whole bunch of hand waving going on, and
Yeah. So let's see this.
neither side has been implemented.
Yeah, so if we look at headers for this, it should be nothing, right? Or we shouldn't have anything.
For the response.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So the response
Response
header says
headers,
set cookie, and then if we go to jokes, then it should have a cookie. Theoretically, it should have a cookie in the request header.
request headers. Yeah,
Cookie.
cookie, there it
RJ
is.
session is all this garbage, and
Yeah.
here the set cookie is
Yeah.
all that
So the
garbage.
cookie, yeah, the cookie is going to be everything in the string actually. So it's going to be RJ session, max age, path, HTTP only, same site. That's the cookie is the whole string.
This.
Semicolon delimited.
Yeah, so it looks as though the whole cookie is not actually getting stored. It looks like RJ session
Well,
is
the only part that gets sent is the actual session cookie part, I guess.
So where is this cookie? Because it looks like it sort of
I
looks like
don't
it
think it's actually
exists.
being. You haven't implemented the part where you persisted on the browser yet. So
So if I send another request, let's see if it's got this cookie header still. So no, its request header no longer has this cookie.
wait, this is jokes.
Yeah, so
What
jokes
did you
is
change exactly?
well, so instead of logging in, I just navigated to jokes and
Oh yeah, because jokes isn't protected, is it?
so I think we just haven't built. I think we're trying to investigate before there's enough infrastructure to really investigate anything. I think I agree with you that, or my understanding currently is that the only time that the cookie is being, I think the cookie is being used. I think that the cookie is only being used upon login, and thus its lifetime is completely on the like it. The lifetime, it just has to be longer than the amount of time it takes to resolve the next request.
Oh,
Like it's
uh,
effectively just valid for one request, I think.
okay, show me where the cookie would be used then.
So I think so. The cookie would be used during this redirect to call. Let's see, redirect to, which is defined here. Form.get validate URL. Fuck, and then we have to go to validate URL, and it doesn't have anything to do with that. So,
Mhm.
fuck. Yeah, actually, so, oh, right, but create user session returns a redirect to.
Mhm.
Wait, so where's this defined? Oh my god,
Create user
I'm
session.
dying.
Whatever create user sessions being used.
Okay, so create user session is being used here, and then this is the redirect to function that's being.
Yeah.
Okay, so redirect to is getting
The path. Yeah.
extended here to also include headers
Well,
where you have a cookie set.
yeah. Show me where create user sessions being used again.
So create user session is being used here.
What's this function called? The one that contains the switch that contains all this.
So that's login. Well, this is
Oh,
it's
it's
action.
action.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
This
something
is
that
action on the
automatically occurs
login.
on form submission.
Okay. So on. So action returns. Oh yeah. Remind me again. I feel like it's stated it in the tutorial, but actions did something specific. Like the return something specific.
Right. Yeah. Actions. I thought that actions returned. Oh, they return like the basic web redirects or the like web, the really basic web resource handler thing, which I should really know the name of. Let me just look it up. Let's see. Remix actions. Action. Okay. So it's called if any non get request is used on your route or made to your route rather. And blah, blah, blah. It lets you do all this shit. And then what does it return? When a post is made to an URL, multiple routes in your route hierarchy will match the URL unlike get loaders, blah, 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 which are used to only build the UI. Only one action is called. The route call will be the deepest matching route unless the deepest matching route is index route, in which case it will post the parent route of the index because they share the same URL. The parent wins. So this is like a root TSX versus a index.js or TSX sort of thing. Maybe. I'm not at that point yet. I don't actually see where it returns something. I actually got to be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. Oh, they're fucking called web requests. I'm pretty sure it returns a web request.
What this?
These things. I think. So they return
Oh.
JSON or they return what I think is called a web request. I might be totally out of line here.
Okay, I remember the section that mentioned it.
Right. Yeah. You found that. I don't remember
Yeah.
finding that myself. Yeah, and it doesn't say anything about that actually in here, as far as I can tell. Return Yeah. Let's see. Remix action return value. Nope.
Okay, to load data in a
Yeah, there we go.
remix
Use
route
action
module,
data.
you use a loader. This is simply an async function where Remix returns a response and is accessed. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's see.
So importantly, use action data is not actually the action function itself that we're
Sorry? Say that again?
so use action data is not the action
No, it's the thing that
function.
receives the action. It's the thing that receives with the action. So I guess the action can return anything.
And in this case, it's returning whatever this is. It's a typed response. Never. It's a
Just a
promise.
promise. I guess yeah, just a promise of anything.
Okay.
Which makes sense. Okay, so it's totally flexible what it returns. So in this case, we're returning whatever create user session returns. Okay, which is a promise. Okay. Okay.
We have
Oh, let's see what bad request does again, because I remember they implemented bad request. Click on the return yeah.
yeah. So bad
So
request.
that one returns a promise of yeah, click into it.
Yeah. So this one literally just returns a JSON struct that says like
Yeah.
400 error.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. So it really can't so it just returns an HTTP request. Okay. So web request would make sense. Okay.
All
So it
right.
just returns a promise. Okay.
Yeah. So where does this leave us in terms of our research? So
Yeah, so now we look at login to TSX and we see if there's a use action data anywhere in here.
there is.
All right, so it does. So action
And
data.
this is where we write the freaking form. This is where we write the HTML. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
I think.
So we're not using the create user thing yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because that would
Um,
be blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't even know how we would
right.
use that. So there's action
I think
data
they
though.
have to show us. This is one of those situations where it's framework specific, so they have to show us.
Cool, got it. I'm here for it. Okay. Blah blah blah. All right. Oh, wait. Did I ever do this? Yes. Set cookie await storage commit session. Login TSX. Okay, I've done all this shit. I made the session environment, etc. With that, okay, yes, we have seen this. We did this max age.
Uh-huh.
Our max age was a little smaller because we set it ourselves, but yeah,
Yeah.
basically the same thing. Oh well, here we go. Oh, and this is not true for us. Okay, so
What
let's.
is it?
So they're saying that the you'll see the cookie, and we actually don't. So something different has happened. So let me go back into the session server and just make this 100 or something.
Yeah.
And then let's go back to the app. So if we go back to
Yeah, let's go to
root,
login.
I
Yeah.
set this up real quick. That slick link.
All
Okay.
right, so let's go
So
to
now we go to
application.
application, and then they tell us cookies, and then okay, it does
Oh,
exist. Uh,
wow. So we're just using a built-in browser functionality with the header. That makes sense. That's really easy.
which
I
is
think the browsers,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's the HTTP responsibility of the like set header that our browser is or yeah,
Huh?
our browser is respecting the
Set
HTTP
cookie. Yeah.
responsibility that we are placing on it here
Yeah.
when we
Set
say
set
HTTP
cookie.
only. HTTP set cookie. Where is it?
It's at the
Here.
bottom.
Yes, this
Yeah.
header.
Yes. So that's great that it's a automatic and built-in browser API. That is convenient.
I want to understand what's going on in this redirect to function. So we're calling validate.
It's a string. Yeah. So redirect to is always a string. It's never not a string.
Okay, so in here, oh yeah, it does literally say it's a string.
Yeah.
So
So it's a string gets passed in here. So really what's happening is when we create the user session, we're then redirecting to the page that we want to go to.
so v- oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay, validate URL
Yeah, what
is
does validate URL do? Okay. It just makes sure that it includes. Okay, that's fine.
yeah, so this is all just like a very, very long way of basically
Yeah.
saying slash jokes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's important because this is where yeah.
This is where you could fuck it. This is where you could fuck it up or like get somebody
Hmm.
exploiting your
Yeah. So you
exploiting your
actually have
stuff.
a built-in way of passing the redirect to
And
show
also,
me.
just to note, I
Yeah.
think the reason that we were confused is that we had navigated again to jokes, and when we're in jokes again, the cookie
Yeah.
that we lack the directive
Uh,
to set the header.
yeah.
The header
Okay.
setting thing
Makes
has been
sense.
lost.
Makes
Excellent.
sense.
So we've gone full circle, and now we understand. I think I understand okay how it's going on. I'll say it's
Yeah.
clear for now. All right, excellent.
Yeah.
This is how now every time every request the browser makes to our server will include the cookie. We don't have to do anything on the client. This is how cookies work. Okay, so that's not entirely true yet, clearly, because we just refreshed the page and that's not true, but we'll have to do something
Yeah.
simple probably, like
Okay.
include there'll be like a one-liner in these routes.
Yeah.
So now we check whether the user is authenticated on the server by reading that header to get user ID, or to get the user ID we had set into it. I'm not sure I understand that. Now on the server by reading that header to get the user ID we had set into it. So I don't understand how the user ID is set into this. It might be. It might actually just be in here. The user ID is an
Encoded.
obnoxious string.
Yeah. It's encoded. I think the dot denotes values. So the first will be username, second one will be password or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is the user ID and this is some other data. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, remember to check the docs to learn how to get the session from the request. One day I will be ready for this. I might
Yeah.
literally redo this tutorial immediately after I finish it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so update app util session server.ts to get user ID from the session. In my solution, I create 3 functions: get user session, get user ID, and require user ID.
Okay.
Okay, so I actually am going to look at the docs because well, the docs are I need to read the docs in order to figure out how to do this exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, so something I saw earlier was somebody, or in the documentation, basically some create session type method returning all three of the functions that they've described to be
Okay.
dereferenced. So let
Okay.
me, yeah, this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
So this isn't quite what this person has in mind. So let's
Yeah, I
do
think
what
we're
this
just
person has
conflating
in
them.
mind first. Okay, so
Yeah.
I want these three functions, and we're doing it in session server. Let's do paste them at the bottom, and not surprisingly whatsoever, this is not formatted correctly. Okay, let's use the magic cursor. Wait, how do I select multiple lines? Alt. Ugh,
I don't know.
I got it.
It's possible. I just don't know.
I got it. So export const blah blah blah, and then let's blah blah blah. Let's assume these are all functions. Okay, so export const blah blah blah. Request. It doesn't implicitly.
You're mixing the two syntaxes.
Fuck. Okay. Let me do a
Just
better
put an
job of
equal sign
this.
after
Yes.
each.
Got
Yeah,
it.
put an equal sign after each. Yeah. Yeah, there we
Yay! Oh, it's a nice little happy family now.
go.
It's just so nice to see it like all of a sudden like structure like become structured, get all of its nice colors. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Get user session. How would I do that? Okay, so storage is the object that I believe contains the session. So let me literally return. Okay, so this is
Storage, I
async
guess, session.
function. Return
Yeah.
await
Yeah.
storage dot get session. Simple. That one's a freebie.
Async goes before the
Yep.
parens. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm hitting Control Z instead of Control X. Kill me. Okay. Put me out to pasture, Kazi. All right. So it's taking in a request, which is a telltale. This signals to me that request should be used somewhere in here.
Yeah. Maybe we get session. Check the signature of get session.
I want to
Yes.
check the
Cookie
signature.
get session.
Sorry.
There we go. Yeah, I'm just looking at the signature right now.
Yeah, parses a cookie header
Cookie
from a
header.
header to pull request and returns the associated session. If there's no
Or
data associated
in
with
here.
the cookie. Yeah, so this is expecting a
request
cookie. It parses a cookie from the request. So it's expecting a request, but it doesn't require a fucking request here. So
no, I mean it could be see, it's
optional.
optional. It's an optional cookie header and an optional options. But we just want to look at request. What's inside request? So do request something. Yeah, right where you are now. Start typing request.
Okay.
Cookie.
Well, yeah.
Oh, dot headers. Dot headers.
Yeah. Dot get.
I guess get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I've seen something like this before. I'm pretty sure it is this.
Yeah. Is it capitalized?
Yes.
Okay.
It's really dumb, but yes. Here, let me.
The 1990s are showing.
Yeah. Right. So this is the only place that it's showing up in the project, but we'll come back to
Yeah,
it.
let's see request dot headers.
If this
No, yeah,
doesn't
do a
work.
search for request dot headers. I'll get. I just want to see.
Well, so
or
nowhere
view.
in this project does it is that used yet. Okay, so user agent cookie, but that's what I just
That's
wrote.
where, yeah,
Index.js user agent,
yeah,
and then garbled nonsense
yeah,
content type.
more garbled than.
Yeah,
I think you could prevent your search from searching and build. That would be a good
yeah.
setting.
Okay, it's time. I've literally been waiting for you to ask me to do that optimization so that I'm not doing premature optimization. Okay, VS Code
Okay.
filter search directories. It's like a ignore. Nope.
Yeah, just say VS Code search ignore folder.
Yeah.
File search ignore directory.
I basically want a git ignore for.
Yeah, there we go. This is the exact one.
Yep. Command. Well, this is. Whoa. What the fuck is this? Okay, this is a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Uh,
Files to include, file to
preferences,
exclude.
settings, search. Okay, user settings will apply to all workspaces. Works only to this workspace. That's
Yeah,
probably
so let's do it
wise.
just to this workspace. Yeah.
Okay, so workspace, settings,
File
user.
preferences setting.
What have I done? Okay, settings, workspace setting. Oh, it just wants me to fucking type search here. Okay, text editor, find. Um,
I think it's features explorer. Or features search, actually, never mind.
there we go.
Exclude.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, we've got some. These are good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
need to take a look at this project. Yep, build node
No,
modules for sure. I didn't know for sure that
yeah.
that was getting,
That's already there. Yeah.
and then probably cache as well. You know, it's probably already
Yeah.
excluded. Whatever. We
Yeah.
know where it is now.
Okay.
I'll get rid of this empty pattern.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's make this search again. Oh, look at that. That's so nice.
Yay.
Excellent. Thank you,
Cool.
Kelsey, for the permission that I required to make sure that I was not
Yeah.
prematurely doing this. So
Yeah.
something else that I can do is I can search in here. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. So you got it completely right.
Yeah, so far. So far, we're doing it. Okay.
So far. Yeah, let's see what
Um,
this other two functions should do.
well, let's guess first how they work, and then
Yeah.
okay. So get user ID. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
and that's also taking the request. Also, okay. So get user's ID. Okay, so where is the user ID set? So it's inside of the session. So we still need
Yeah.
this portion. So we're still
Yeah.
going to be calling this function,
Mm-hmm.
and then we want.
Well, actually, we
here.
don't need the session, right?
Well, so the user ID, I believe, exists inside of the session because we're seeing that the user ID is getting set by the session object. It might
Okay.
exist elsewhere, but I think it exists inside of the session. Well, yeah. Okay. Wait. So I'm not positive why we need to use this get session function on the request at all. I think it's because the request it has the headers, right, that we want to parse. So the request is the object that has the cookies. So I think it's just gonna be this.
Wait, how come I can't find request a header? A second, I'm trying to catch up on the.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. You're doing much needed like sideways detective work.
Yeah.
I'm just
log
gonna
in.
like get these whatever it's called. Okay, so require user ID. Okay, so this is going to use get user ID. So const user ID is going to equal, and then we're going to async this.
Which chapter in the
We are still
doc?
in authentication. We're just very far down in authentication.
Okay, okay.
Let's see. You know, it would be great if there was a like line number sort of construct that I could tell you like what line number I'm on in this.
Yeah.
But I think that would probably be more. That's like one of those things that seems like it would be really simple, but is not because it depends on my like page width and all that.
Yeah. Oh, so you've done all the like correct password stuff?
Yes. Or the validation to make sure that the password string is like long enough and that the user string is long enough, and then also the like checking the MD5 against the servers, or like the Prism objects password or whatever. Validate the MD5 hash on the back end. So get user ID request.
No, I went too far.
Const user ID, and then redirect to is so I'm not sure what. So this is going to be if not user ID. It's actually if it's nullish, because the user ID could theoretically be. You know what? It's not going to be a fucking like an empty string is not a valid username. A 0 is not a valid username. I don't need to do all this extra crap. Okay, so this will be the redirect to, and this will have, I think, a very, very similar signature to this. And then
I think we just redirect to, yeah. We don't even need the second part.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because we're just requiring user ID, which I assume means like if it doesn't exist, we just redirect.
Yeah, so well, okay,
Maybe.
so oh shit, right, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what it wants me to return if true. Like, I don't know what the program flow is for all of this.
I'm still have no idea where in the fucking tutorial this is.
Let me make a greater effort to find where this is. Okay. Let me find a unique.
Did you know? Okay, did you notice in my example that we're throwing?
I'm gonna find a unique string.
No, yeah, I just found it. Okay, so build. Oh, we're right before the build logout function. Okay.
Which will be very helpful for testing this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So update this to get the user ID from the session. So this person or the tutorial maker has their 3 functions, and I don't know what they're all for, but I think our signatures aren't, our functions aren't that far off. They're no longer even stubs. They actually do something. Okay. So let's see.
Ooh, okay, require user IDs.
I'm sorry, what?
Doing stuff. Yeah, require user ID. The last function is the meatiest of the 3 that we're implementing.
Okay, so this one.
Oh, you're looking at it already. Okay,
A+, get user session.
Yeah.
Number
this
2.
one is actually pretty close too.
Export async function. Oh, okay, interesting. Right. So this this does not.
Oh, this gets the session. Okay, so we
So
use
we
the
don't need to
previously wrote.
export this, or the first one,
Okay,
get user session.
yeah,
The second one, or one of the other ones must use get user session. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
const session is await user session request. Okay. So, and then user ID
We're
is
getting the
session dot
session.
get user ID. Okay. So, okay. So like session dot set is used to set the user ID. Session dot get has to be used to get the
Yeah.
user ID.
Okay.
Okay. So
First,
const
we need
storage, or I guess session
session. Yeah.
equals blah blah blah, and then
Get
you
user
can literally
user
just
session.
use a request in here.
No, no, you can use the previous function to use get user session.
Right, yes, okay, get user session.
No, no, no.
What?
You're using storage.get session. You don't need storage.get session.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get user session request.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I'm seeing. Okay, all right. Session, do this. Otherwise, this is just a placeholder. What do I want to do with session? You know what? We're just gonna do regular ass functions. If not session, return. Well, we can't redirect anywhere, so I guess I'm just gonna start by returning null. And then so okay, get user ID. Okay, so const user ID is equal to session dot get, whoa, await session. Ooh, wow. Okay, and then what's the, oh, wait. I don't need to go there. This. Okay, so it's just a string. Does this work? That's pretty cool. Await session. And then I don't actually need to do this check because I can then just check here as well. So, and we're getting the user ID, so return get user ID. I mean, or sorry, return
What do
user
you?
ID.
You're
I'm
using
just trying
some
to
fancy
determine
fucking.
where I even need to do checks, because this will just return undefined if this doesn't resolve. Let's see what their idea of a safe
Wait,
function call is. So if not user ID or type of user ID is not string, then return null. So they seem to think that this is the right way to do it. So they're
yeah.
safeguarding against
You can. There's a more concise way of doing it. There's a loose comparison, which is like if user ID double equals null.
so this
Yeah.
checks if it is not a string and if it ooh.
It's just checking if it's nullish, but with a loose comparison. Which I
Oh,
think,
yeah, the non-triple equal sign. Okay.
yeah.
I don't know that
So,
incantation, so I'll use
yeah.
the more verbose one, but it's good to know that
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
something that would work for that.
hmm
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm actually gonna double check for you now if actually empty string does not equals null, so I don't know. I guess my way was too clever.
So you want user ID or null, right? Return user ID or null, I think, would do something very similar. The thing it doesn't do is check if the type is string or is not string.
It does.
Oh, right, because the
Yeah.
fucking. Wait, okay, now I'm. Okay, so let's do a hypothetical. Okay, so if it's an array And okay, so let's just do
Yeah.
let's make it cute, right? Okay, so we're gonna
Okay.
return. Okay, so this is my current that's my current guess as to how we could do something very similar. So if user ID is falsy, then we will return null. And that means if it's an empty array, if it's an empty object, actually those might be truthy. Yeah, so those are truthy. I think this will return null. Yeah, so that's empty string is falsy. But if it's the wrong type and it's a valid object, then it will return true, which is not what we want.
Wait. How come you're return? Sorry. I just looked away for a second. Why are you doing or so ORing stuff either returns on the left side like truthy value?
Yes.
Did you mean to check that the double equals
No.
indicator or the doesn't? Okay.
Well, so this is my method of trying to be cute. I think it doesn't, I've just proved that it does not work. So
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
different method would be needed. I'm not convinced that we can get this string type
In a cute way.
coercion without
Yeah.
being explicit about it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's
this is
fine.
basically just not user ID.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And then so the cute way to do this is return. You know what? I'm not even gonna. Well, no. Here we go.
No, that's not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's just fucking not. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, so require user ID is going to be the most complicated one, and it's going to take get user ID. It's going to require get user ID, which I'm right about, but then they want us to do something that I don't understand. So we have to go to the documentation because I just don't know what they expect. Okay, so what the string new URL request URL.pathname. Okay, this is all French to me. So URL is a built-in method in the browser. It's not built in Node.js. So I do recognize that this, I understand that this would exist. However, I'm not sure what we're doing with it. Okay, but redirect to is a new URL based on the request. And then for the session, we're awaiting get user session, and then const user ID is equal to wait. This is a strange thing to do. Why have we created get user ID as a function and we're not using it here? Okay, this shit is exactly the same as here.
Oh.
Right? This is this check again. This is this function
Yeah.
again.
It's similar.
This portion is
The only difference.
The difference
Yeah,
is
that portion is identical.
This redirect to no, we don't use this redirect to. Okay, so they just made an error in their tutorial. They wanted to convey that we could use this function. So this whole thing is just getting replaced with if.
I think it's purposely like it is identical except for the actual meat of the function, which means in the case of that check, we're actually just we're performing something completely different, which is a redirect, as opposed to just returning that value.
Well, that's exactly what functions are for, right? So this entire thing is a stand-in for this functionality. So we'll have a user ID, and so like if if this function returns truthy, if get user ID returns truthy, then going into here, we will use its result user ID. Here, let me sketch it out, and we'll see what we
Yeah.
we'll see what we think.
Uh,
Let
I
me.
just got pinged on WoW. Somebody might wants me to come raid with them, so I might have to drop off soon.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for joining me. Let's see. How I looked up the hotkey for this yesterday. It's like Shift Alt Shift E or something. I guess I'll just have to look it up again. Oh, it's Control B.
Yeah.
To get rid of the file browser. Okay. So my assertion, const user ID is equal to await that, and then we can use the same. Yeah, so this logic is the same as if not user ID, because we've already checked if it's null. And otherwise, we're going to do this other crazy shit.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hop off and join these guys for a little WoW raid.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna be
Okay.
on. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna be off in 30 minutes for possibly the rest of the night, or possibly just like an hour. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. And I'll
Yeah.
see you soon.
Speak to you soon.
All right.
I might be on tomorrow morning. Actually, I have a free morning tomorrow if you're doing
Sweet.
this again.
Yeah. If
All
yeah, what time are you looking at for mornings, so I can set an alarm?
right. Before noon, like much more before noon, because at noon I'll have my therapy, or at 1 I'll have my therapy.
Okay. So I'm just looking for like a comfortable earliest time for you.
I'll
Like,
be up before you are because of my Eastern advantage.
ooh, all right. That sounds like a challenge. All right.
All
I will see you in.
right.
I will see you in
Yeah.
the morning.
The morning. All right.
TM.
I'll speak
All
to you
right.
soon.
Peace out.
Bye.
Throw. I don't like these names because this is a get user ID. Yeah, I did fucking notice that you're throwing a response. I don't think I like that. Throwing a redirect? Ugh. Also, where are these params coming from? Is this because the form logic puts params into the URL, and whether or not they show up for the user, they are there and available? In my example, I created require user ID, which will throw a redirect. Remember, redirect is a utility function that returns a response object, which is one of those. It's part of the fetch API. Which uses web workers and web something. Okay, I mean, I just gotta leave this for now. This is just a lot. Okay. Cover this in the error handling sections later. You may also notice resolution makes use of the login routes redirect to feature that we had earlier, which is just checking some shit about the redirect. Okay, now update new to use that function to get the user ID and pass it to the db joke create call. Okay, so new. Great. Okay. We do not have sufficient fields or something. New joke route. Okay, so the new joke route has an action, and the action is going to have a user ID. Okay, so the require user ID. So require user ID is going to redirect. Oh my god, and it returns a fucking user ID. Okay, so const user ID ID is equal to require user ID. And then we're making a request. So this is our destructured request from our action args. Okay, well, this is very, very clean. Okay, so this will throw a fucking fit and redirect if it doesn't have the right data, and then if it does have the right data, then we can await joke create data. What on earth am I doing here? Okay, fields. Fields is name, content, user ID. Okay, so I need to look at my schema to see. Okay, so I need Jokester ID as well as. Okay, and these are keyword arguments, so it's not going to be. A problem for us. Okay, so these are that is true that the fields are name and content. It's just that when we create it, we're going to need name string, content string is not assignable to type. Property Jokester is missing in the type, but is required. So I don't have a way of getting Jokester yet, but I do have a way of getting Jokester ID. Would you take a Jokester? How do I tell which ones of these things are required or not? Name, content, Jokester ID. Those are the only ones that don't have a bunch of garbage attached to them, but I don't know how to tell which ones are necessary? It seems like the Jokester ID is the one that I need. So Jokester is a relation with Field's Jokester ID references on delete cascade. So I don't think I can derive Jokester from Jokester ID in line, or I don't understand how I can. I mean, first of all, I need to destructure fields, I think. Oh my god. Okay, so destructure fields, and then Jokester ID is equal to user ID. String promise is not equal to blah blah blah. So this not data Prisma without Joe create input? I have no idea what's required there. Data. Promise string Jokester ID is declared here on type without Jokester create input. Oh boy. Do I just fucking use that? No, because that's not definable either. Do I use... Yeah. I make a string. Right, because this is using object property shorthand. We're destructuring that with destructuring object property short destructuring into object property shorthand. And then, well, shit. Fields name content object values field error some boolean return bad request. Fields I mean, I feel like I'm just moving the problem if I... Okay, yeah, also is this mad for the same reason? Fields name content hello joke. No, what the hell am I doing here? Okay, field errors would not work. And then I just can't set Jokester ID. It's not assignable to type without... I just feel like I'm doing the wrong... I'm assigning this the wrong way. I think it required user ID. Got it. User ID is await require user ID. Did I not await it? Yeah, I didn't await it. Okay. And then, yeah, so it might have been saying that you're not allowed to assign a promise to Jokester ID, and that was the issue that I was running into. User ID. Okay. Man, that's fucking unreadable. Let me see if I can read this now. Okay, the expected type comes from property Jokester ID, which is returned, or which is declared here on type all this shit, whatever, and then what's the view problem? Which is just wait. Well, okay, so at the end of the day, this is really the issue. Okay, property Jokester ID string. Okay, that is the crux here. So I need to look at the top of these errors. Okay. Man. We sure do a lot of awaiting. And then, yeah, how do they do this? Oh, wow, look at me, I'm a genius. Okay. And I think that's it. Okay, let's test that. Now if a user tries to make a new joke, they'll be redirected. Cody, Twix, rocks. Add your own. Okay, so the session was still alive. Great, so we've seen both behaviors now. I'm not super confident about the whole 100 seconds thing. I guess we can look at our cookies. Okay, so the cookie persists for some reason now. Does it tell me when it will expire? I think the expiration thing is on the server. So I'm going to come back in under 100 seconds and take a look at this. Okay, it's certainly been more than 100 seconds. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So our cookie is expired. And I guess cookies automatically get deleted when the server that issued them tells the browser that they're expired. I guess that seems reasonable for a high-level framework to do. Okay, building a log out. Okay, so we're gonna make a destroy session. We're gonna use destroy session. Update session to add a get user function that gets the user. I think we have that. Session get. I guess we don't. We have get user ID. Session get for any name in the session, and the session is a get user session object, and I don't know where the user get user, is that maybe db user? Are we using db user to get the user? Where username? So do we get the username from the session? We're using get user. That's like a destroy logout. Logout will not require username. And username is derived from blah blah blah. So match user ID user. Okay, so login returns a username struct, and then we have to look at invocations of login. Await login. Create user session. So the user session so the user session has user.id in it, but I don't think it has the user, not like as the database sees it. The database has user IDs. Yeah, the database absolutely has. Okay, so get I'm not even gonna okay, so I'm just gonna make a function get user, I mean, and then is it gonna be a request, which is gonna be of type of type request. Behave yourself. And that is going to db. Okay, so we're gonna db user, yeah, where username. So I guess we just do this again. Get user const user await. Okay, so function 8, is it async when I, man, like, is this the function signature? Okay, async, blah blah blah, user await, blah blah blah, where request dot oh my gosh. Okay, so blah 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 blah, const user session, and then user ID. Or don't I have a get user ID? I do. Okay, so const user ID equals get user ID. I mean, I guess I'm awaiting it. Ooh, what did I do? Did I? Dude, I still do not know what. Oh, page up and page down. Control page up and page down. Navigate across the tabs. Okay, anyway, user ID is await get user ID of request. Why you gotta do me like this? Okay, request. And then if not user ID, do I want to throw a tantrum here? No. This is an internal function. It can return null. Okay, so let's just say if not user ID, return null, and then I'll come back to this functionality. And then const user await db find user first where, and I'm going to, nope, user name, is that Prisma schema username ID. Okay. So I think the Jokester ID is the user's ID. Okay, where ID fuck. How do any of these work? This is such a... How did this other where function work? Where username is username. Okay, so where ID is user ID. Okay, yes. So user is db user find first. Okay, so that gives me our user, and then we want, that's it. Okay, and then return user, and if user's null, then we're returning null. So whatever. I mean, I guess let's set it to null. Get user, and then we need a log out. So, and that's going to be an export async function. Oh my god. John log out, and that's going to take in a request. And then can I just request what the, oh, this is just an async function, right? Okay, so we're gonna get, okay, so const user equals await get user request. Fuck me. Oh my god, Control Z. Let's see. Okay, const user is await get user, blah blah blah, and then we're gonna destroy session. And wow, there's no. It's it. Oh, okay. But don't do this to me. Where do you get these? You get these functions from create. Where do you get these functions from? Create cookie session storage. Const storage is equal to that. I mean, oh, so it's storage.destroy session. Okay, great. Storage dot destroy session, and then what do we take in? Method session options cookie serialized options. Okay, well, expected 1 to 2 options. Okay, so get session I assume is one of. Okay, get user session request, got it. This is a promise though. I don't think destroy session is expecting a session. Okay, so const session equals await. It's not complaining yet, but I think it will. Session, and then what the fuck do I need the user for? I can just blow up the whole session. What are these options? Okay, and then like what? I did this whole thing. I did this whole fucking thing expecting there to be anything to do with the user, and they're just I don't think there is. You just delete the whole session. There must be some shit to do with the user. It's like user dot it's like set session dot I mean, I really don't know. Do you like delete the user from the session first? It's like unknown use for user object. Okay, that's where it ends today.